Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hometown Talents and Treasures. Happy Sunday, everyone. I'm so pleased to be joined by a room full of students here today. They are with the Summer Theatre Ensemble, and you can't see this, but they even brought me some flowers to thank me for having them on. They are part of the summer production of Peter Pan coming up August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
And I'm a dancer in the Indian tribe.
I'm Hummingbird, the Indian, and
I'm Toodles, the Lost Boy. I played Chief Bald Eagle, one of the lead Indians.
I am Curly, the Lost Boy.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Renton, and I will be playing Captain Hook.
Hi, I'm Daniel Weber, and I will be playing two roles. My first role is Mr. Darling, and my second role is Mullins the Pirate.
Okay, so you guys, this production is coming up August 2nd, 3rd, 4th at the Collins Center. So you guys have been working hard at this. Talk a little bit about what went into preparing for your roles, what went into practice, rehearsals, and so forth.
Being in the show is a lot of fun, and we all practice both in camp and outside of camp. We practice our lines and things like that. There's a lot of rehearsal with small groups, like the Lost Boys, the Pirates, the Indians are kind of separate in some scenes, and then some scenes we all come together, and it's a lot of fun. We all get to work and stuff like that.
And Dana, how many hours do you guys rehearse?
7 hours a day.
7 hours a day?
Yeah. We work
Wow.
from 8:30 to 3:30. That's it. And we've been working for 2 weeks now. So.
And talk a little bit about, Nicholas, why don't you tell me about what it took to try out for a production like this?
Well, I've done a lot of theater productions over the course of the past few years, and this show is just, I had heard that STE was a really great organization, and it just seemed like a really exciting show, so I took the opportunity and tried out. And so far, I'm thoroughly enjoying my time at STE.
And STE is Summer Theatre Ensemble.
Summer Theatre Ensemble,
And
yes.
Sadie, talk a little bit about what it took to get ready and
As soon as we auditioned, we all found out our parts, and the first week we came in, we kind of did theater games, got to know everyone's part, see who we're working with, and then we started doing character work on who our parts were. So as soon as we did character work, we were all getting very into character, and then we figure out our costumes, and as soon as we put our costumes on, we feel very into character, and then I feel the play really comes alive. On Friday, we performed for CSA, which is almost like a little kid version of STE, and that's the first time we all kind of put on our costumes and performed together as a group, and I felt like we're really starting to come together, and I'm really excited.
talk about what it takes to get into that person. What kind of research do you do? What do you do before you get on stage? What do you do to become that person, besides putting on the costume?
Well, at the beginning of the week, we all get our scripts, and we all read through the scripts to see where our character shows up in the play. And after that, we see what scenes we're in, and we're all assigned to do, it's called an image journal, is what we're doing. And so we're kind of putting together images that describe our character, and we're putting them into a little booklet almost. And so that kind of helps us unfold what our character's like and his or her characteristics and stuff. So it's really puts you into character for the play.
Go ahead, Max.
Oh, yeah, we also spend a lot of time on physicality and how our character would move, what they're like, and how they might relate to different characters in the show and different groups of people. So that was another really important part. I spent a lot of time on that, trying to, like Sadie said, get into the mood of the character.
Did you guys go and watch past other Peter Pan productions or movies or things, and did you try to copy whoever your character was?
Actually, yeah, I did watch some of the previous productions of Peter Pan, and as the character of Captain Hook, I noticed carefully what other Hooks have done and how they've sort of played the character, and so I've tried to incorporate some of the material I gathered from those viewings into my character, and obviously it's a lot of fun because Captain Hook is a complicated character. Although he's evil, he's simultaneously almost a fake evil guy. He's a little scared sometimes. He's in immense fear of a crocodile. So yeah, definitely.
And we also watched a DVD of a revival of Peter Pan, and it had Kathy Rigby in it. And I noticed that my character, Mr. Darling, is a bit of a strict disciplinarian, but he's also a fun character. And by the end, he becomes nice, and he allows the Lost Boys to live at the house with them. Yeah, and so I'm extremely excited for this. I mean, I have a great role, and I've also met very, very nice people, and I'm just really glad I chose to do this.
Can we hear a little bit?
A little bit? All right, I can try. Hello, I'm Wendy Moira Angela Darling. What's your name?
Anyone else? Lillian, I haven't heard from you. Little bit closer to the mic.
I'm an Indian, so we don't really do accents because we're not really speaking English. We have like our own little language, kind of.
You can do a little bit.
Well, one of our songs is called Ugawug, and it's just all this random, like, not just words kind of that don't really make sense. Like we say ugwug, ugawugga bing bong. So it's like our own little
a lot of good rhythm in there.
A lot of good
language.
rhythm. Daniel, you wanted to do one?
Yeah, and here's one of my character's lines. A little less noise there, please. A little less noise.
Very good.
I play a boy as well, so I have to do a boy voice and a Cockney accent all at the same time.
Wow. Talk
So-
about getting into character. Go ahead, Dana.
So my
No
first
pressure.
line. I'm always afraid of the pirates and Indians when Peter's not here to protect us.
What have you learned from doing Peter Pan about yourself as a person, about the way you learn things, about your performance, perhaps about your voice? Who'd like to go first? Go ahead.
Well, working with Tom Smoker, who is our music director, I think he works with us all in individual groups, and he'll work with us individually sometimes too on our voices. And it's all really helped us open up to what vocal ranges we're comfortable with and what our voices can really do. And it's all opened us up a lot music-wise. And I think working with STE just as a whole is a great thing for anyone to do, because it's such a good community to be involved with, because we're all very friendly people, and we love, obviously,
Very
we all love
outgoing.
theater. Yeah, theater people are always fun to work with. We're all very dramatic, so it's always fun, and it's just a great community to
There's
work
always
with.
drama, right? There's always a drama.
There's always drama on the production.
Did you want to, Max, go ahead.
Well, of course, Peter Pan has the message never grow up. And one of the most important things I think anyone who sees the show or is in the show can take from that is that it's always good to have a little child in you and just, never grow up like the show says, and always, always have fun.
Well put, Max. Anyone else? What did you learn about yourself? Go ahead.
Well, what I learned about myself is that one day I could be Tony host Neil Patrick Harris one day. Because this year at the Tony Awards, he had to go through a huge quick change. He had to go through an extremely quick magic act where he disappeared on stage and then reappeared in the aisles. Yeah, and I just learned that with my acting, singing, and dance abilities, I can be extraordinary.
Great opportunities to be at the Collins Center, and that is one magnificent stage. It is a beautiful stage and a beautiful auditorium. Many of you guys have been in past productions. Let's go around the table and tell me what your favorite role, your favorite production, and why. Why don't we start with you, Max? You're going to be first each time.
Well, in 2010, STE did a production of Oliver, and I was Oliver, so I think that was a favorite role in production of mine. It was really fun. So I got my start with STE, and I kind of got my love for theater, so that was a really fun show.
Max, why was that your favorite role?
It was just like a good, I just never had a lead role before, and it was a good way to, break into acting and really, character development and, just, working on, acting skills, and it was just really fun and a really good experience.
Lillian.
I don't really have a favorite show, actually. I don't have a favorite role either. They're all different, so I feel like since the characters I've played are just so different, there's not really something better about one, so.
I have a question for you. What character would you want to play? If you had a
That's
choice.
hard. In any show.
Any show.
Well, I would love to be Little Red Riding Hood in Into the Woods someday. I love that show. Or in Les Mis.
Oh, very nice. Dana.
My favorite show to be in was probably Legally Blonde last year with SDE. And I was a part of the ensemble for that, but I like being in the ensemble more than I like having a bigger role because acting isn't the strongest out of singing and dancing. I'm better at singing and dancing, so I like being in the ensemble.
And what production would you want to be in?
I've always wanted to be in The Lion King, actually.
Fun. That's good music. Sadie.
My favorite role was last year when we did Legally Blonde. I got to play the role of one of the sorority sisters, Margot. And I really loved that show because the music was so much fun. And there was a lot of dancing involved, which I'm a dancer, so I thought it was a really great show to do.
What did you learn from being Margot?
Well, I got to play kind of a different character because normally when I'm in a character, I normally have more of a serious role. And last year, she was a really funny character. She was kind of a ditzy blonde, and it was really fun to be able to play her.
Eva.
I'm kind of caught between two. Like, my favorite, I think, out of the two was when I was ensemble of the Quantipout Players did a little, like, director-written show called All You Need Is Love. And I was in the ensemble. It was, like, a really small, like, 20, 15-person cast. It was just a great experience overall, working with a lot of people who have been on Broadway and stuff. It was really cool just to meet everyone. And my other favorite role was being Vivian in Legally Blonde. Last year with STU was my first year.
What did you like about being Vivian?
She's just so different from who I am. So it was really great to like transform myself completely.
How was she different?
She's really mean and she's very like when she speaks it's all like kind of she's always like I'm Vivian and it's just kind of like whoa, it's all like she's never laid back. She's very strict and doesn't. Yeah, so she's kind of scary, and it was weird trying to change myself, but it was a really great.
What did you do to change yourself?
Oh, I had to watch Legally Blonde.
How many times?
A lot. A lot. Oh God, I forget how many times. And then I just kind of, when I would go on the street, if somebody was like in a fight with someone on the phone, I would just kind of sit and listen and be like, how are they saying that? Can I do that? And it was just kind of like a lot of me trying to be mean, which is bad, but it worked out kind of, I think.
Very interesting. Dylan.
Well, my favorite role I think that I played was probably Lyle in West Middle School's production of Footloose. I just thought it was a very fun role because it was kind of like a comedic sidekick type character, and it wasn't like that big of a part, but it was still very fun to kind of like be like a funny person.
And why? Is that something that you're...
I don't know. I just like doing things that are funny, making people laugh, things like that. Just find it fun.
Go ahead, Nicholas.
Yeah, well, my favorite role would probably have to be when I played Huckleberry Finn in The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. It was a very comedic role. It was, in fact, my first role in any theater production. And I think I kind of got hooked. Yeah, Captain.
Nice
yeah.
play on words. Why did you get hooked?
I don't know. It's sort of being up on stage for the first time. It's sort of a feeling you can't create anywhere else. And I find it. Some people might find it nerve-wracking or stressful. I think it's very exhilarating. I enjoy it, and that was a comedic role. I really got to ham it up, and yeah.
Very cool, Dylan. Go ahead.
Well, I actually have two favorite roles. My first favorite role was the Beast in Woodhill Middle School's production of Disney's Beauty and the Beast. I had such a fun time, and my good friend Dina was Belle. Yeah, and it was a really great experience. And I even had a song all to myself at the end of Act 1.
Will you share a little bit of that?
Yeah. Wait, like as in some of
like
those...
sing a little bit. Sing a couple of lines.
No pain could be deeper, no life could be cheaper, no point anymore if I can't love her.
Very nice.
Thanks.
That is Daniel Weber doing his rendition of
If I Can't Love Her.
If I Can't Love Her. Awesome.
Yeah, and my other favorite role is Les Mis, as I mentioned earlier with Act Andover. I was in the role of Combeferre, and I was also in the role of Jolie. They were both revolutionaries, even though I was the exact same person. I just had a huge amount of solo lines during songs.
Nicholas, you mentioned something about that, people may think this is so nerve-wracking, they may become very nervous, but you say it's exhilarating. What advice do you have for people who may be listening, wanting to get into acting, but exactly that, they're nervous, they don't want to go in front of hundreds of people?
Well, first I would say there's no substitute for practice. The more you are involved in public roles where you have to perform in front of other people, the better you'll become at it and you'll be able to control your stage fright. But my advice would be to start with your family. I think if you start performing in front of your family, it's not as stressful, but it's a little bit stressful.
Did you perform in front of your family when you were young?
Yeah, I used to sing various songs. I can't remember which ones. But in front of your family, I think, is the best way to start, and just go for it. Your first role, everyone has different fears, but I think people will find that it's not as stressful as they think it is.
Anyone else? Any other advice? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, usually what I do when I'm performing, I like to dedicate my performance to someone. Just personally, I would just close my eyes and dedicate it to my mom, my grandfather, or just anyone who I would look up to, or things like that. Just kind of helps me a little bit, so I just kind of know I'm performing for that person instead of all the people, because I usually get more nervous in front of smaller crowds than bigger ones. I don't know why.
Anyone else? Any other advice? Go ahead.
Well, I think that theater is really good if you're someone who's nervous about public speaking. If you're in class giving a presentation and you get really nervous, it's I think theater is good because
helps you get out of your...
You jump out of your comfort zone because you're just going out in front of a lot of people and you're a different person because you're acting. So it's it's not you in front of everyone, it's someone else. But you get used to that kind of, so then you're more outgoing, I think.
Go ahead. What are some of the challenges that you guys face? You're practicing 7 hours a day for 2 weeks. You're getting a brand new character. It's not always going to be a famous show like Peter Pan. What are some of the challenges that you go through? Go ahead.
Well, since I have two roles, both Mr. Darling and Mullins the Pirate, at the very end, there is a chance I might or might not have to go through a severely quick change.
So costume change?
Yeah.
If you have to switch between two characters, I always just kind of close my eyes for 3 seconds and think about something about a character. For Wendy, I would close my eyes and just kind of think about a little girl dreaming about just running away and being young forever. And then if I had to switch into someone else, I would close my eyes and think just about something that would snap me into the mode of that character.
Ellie talked about team and working together. Dana, I'm interested, you and the ensemble, what are some of the challenges of working together with other people who may have different voice levels or styles?
Well, you don't always get along with everybody in life, so you have to learn to just accept it and go along with it and take one for the team, because you're putting on a show and you want it to be good. It's not always about you, so you want the show as a whole to come together.
I always find that singing and dancing at the same time is a challenge. And acting all at the same time is always a challenge.
And smiling and chewing gum at the same time.
and walking and dancing all at the same time is very frustrating. Even if you are talented in one of those, maybe you're really good at singing or you're a really good dancer, you have to do it all at the same time no matter what your strengths. So I mean, everyone always has trouble with that when we're all on a stage for a big group number and we have to sing, dance, and act at the same time. It's always, I feel, the hardest part of every show.
Max, go ahead.
I think one of the hardest things for me definitely was, with character development, was trying to imagine yourself if you were given a role that had something, you've never done before. A lot of us play Indians who, live in the forest, and that's just kind of something no one ever really has been through before. So it's, kind of like, it's hard to imagine that and hard to picture.
What did you do? What did you do to prepare?
We spent a lot of research and, did a lot of thought process, like how do they walk, how do they act, how do they interact with other people, who do they get along with, and spend a lot of time trying to, imagine that and just get as much information as possible and try to become that character.
We actually started Children's Studio of the Arts 20 years ago. We're sponsored through the Department of Community Services in Andover. And I founded it along with Terry Scullin. We're teachers in the Andover school system and very involved in the arts. She was a music teacher, and she had that background. I had a background in music and did some theater as well. And we both had a vision that we would love to come together with students in the summer who would like to pursue the arts, both the visual and performing arts. And we wanted the program to be not only the product-oriented goal, but to have the students, explore avenues in the arts. It would be actually an educational program as well. As you can hear, as you heard from the Summer Theatre Ensemble, actors, that they are not only involved in putting on a production, but they're also involved in procuring, I think, a wonderful background education in performance and all of the aspects of what would go into not only putting on a production, but with all of the background that is needed for you to become a character and to work together with a group of people. 15 seasons of wonderful performances and working with these dedicated young people, not only talented young people, but personally, all of the characteristics that they have in working together, supporting each other, no matter what role they have, has been really part of my life that has just enriched my own life and kept me young as well.
Super fun. I've had a great time. Now what I want to do is, we only have a few more minutes left. I want to go around one more time, either do a line or any advice, anything that we haven't talked about. Say hello to everyone.
All right. Well, I just want to say hello to the rest of the cast, if any of you are listening. Get ready for the big show. And yeah, it's going to be really fun, so, definitely come see it. It's going to be a good show.
Dana? Oh, I'm sorry, not Dana, Lillian, sorry.
Yeah, hi to the cast, if anyone's listening. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I'd like to thank my family for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this, and Mrs. CV for creating STE.
Very nice. Sadie?
I'd like to thank Mr. Tom Smoker for all my development in music and for helping me throughout these shows. I've had a lot of fun working with him.
I'd just like to thank my family for all the support and the whole cast for making such amazing shows all the time, and everyone who puts their time into a wonderful production, and the show must go on all the
Dylan,
time.
do you have a funny line for us?
Nothing comes to the top of my head, but I'd just like to say thank you to my family for always supporting me and giving me this opportunity, and thank you for everyone involved in STE's production and making it all possible.
Go ahead,
I would just
Ellie.
like to thank the families that have all these wonderful young people.
Yeah, it takes a lot of family support.
Absolutely, and it's just such
Big
a
commitment.
And they've just been wonderful over the years. I'd also like to thank my own family, who's in North Carolina, and just tell my new granddaughter Whitney that I love her, and I'll see her soon. I'd also like to thank Joan Cohn, who's a very she's I was going to say old friend. She's not old, but I've known her for many years, and she welcomed me. I'm staying with her while I'm in Andover this summer, and it's been wonderful. It's a wonderful experience, and I just can't wait for our production in 2 weeks.
Danielle.
I'd just like to say hi to all my friends in the cast, and I'd also like to say hi to my friends who I worked with for Act Andover. I really miss you guys. And finally, I'd like to say hi to my friend who's in New York doing a Broadway Actors Workshop.
Hope he's listening. And finally, we have Nicholas over here. Come on over here. It's a full house.
Hi, I'd just like to thank everyone in STE for putting on this production and giving me the opportunity to perform. And I'd also like to encourage anyone who's interested in theater to take the opportunity and get involved in a production, because you won't regret it.
Well put. All right. So August 2nd, 3rd, 4th. That's right. Good job. Thank you, everyone, for coming in here. Again, thank you to all the parents who drove you guys in here. August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Peter Pan Summer Theatre Ensemble at the Collins Center. And that is another edition of Hometown Talents and Treasures, and we'll be back next week.